Okay guys, welcome to Dr. Lou's Low Carb Diet. I'm Dr. Lou. Now, today we're looking at the 7 days of a ketogenic diet. So, if you're going to start and you want to get into ketosis, you've got 7 days to be in full ketosis. Now, we're going to go through each day and we're going to identify the main challenges, issues, and problems with diet. This is going to show you the main things that happen to your body. So, for example, if it's all the things based on nutrition and science, will tell you exactly what's happening in each day. So, some of these are quite important, but it's always extremely important to consult your family doctor first before you endeavor any diet. Now, okay, guys, so you can see up here we have day 1 to 2. So day 1 to 2, we've got them to explain exactly what's going on. Don't forget, if you want detail for each day, so each phase individually, I'm posting videos for each phase because YouTube prefers short videos. And so you can actually, believe it or not, easily fit in, 9 to 11 minutes talking about just one of these phases. So if you want a more detailed approach, go look for the videos for the first 7 days, day 1 to 2, and so on. Okay, guys, so first here you can see is first 7 days on keto. We've got day 1 and 2. Your body is still burning carbs. So carbohydrates, you're still using as your main energy. But what's happened is you've cut off the energy supply. So now instead of taking in all those carbs, there's none. So what's happening is you're just running on what you have in your blood and in your cells stored. So in your liver and your muscles. Now, what you can see here is I'm showing you that you've got your liver and your muscles and you've got your glucose, and your glucose is going in, being used. Yes, it's going straight out as energy, but also at the same time, you need a storage energy. So what is your short-term storage energy? Well, we call it glycogen. Now, glycogen is going to start to be used because you've got your glucose hanging around and you're burning it off and you're worried about the amount, and so you end up going for glycogen. Now, glycogen is basically short sugar, yes. So we call them monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. So you've got a single sugar and then you add it all together of glucose and then you end up with your glycogen. So it's like a starch, and in fact, usually we lovingly refer to it as animal starch because plants use starch and we use glycogen. Now, what you can see here is body burns stored glycogen. So all that glycogen now is being taken out and broken down to be used as sugar, so glucose. So you want that glucose, you've got it stored up in glycogen, you're going to break it out and you're going to use it because it's instant energy. Uses your glycogen stored in your liver and your muscles. So all of that is being stored there and coming out of them in your cells. And what happens is, one idea that starts off is that you have rapid weight loss. Now, why do you have rapid weight loss? Well, you are burning obviously energy, but you're also losing your glycogen. But that's not the main reason. You're losing a lot of water. So this is the main process here. You're losing a lot of water because you are burning glycogen. Now, obviously, when we talk about glycogen, we understand that it is being broken down, but it has lots of water with it. It's called hydrophilic because it loves water. So the whole idea is that water is now has no glycogen, so it all comes out of your body. So all that weight is losing as well is also your water weight. Now, you can see the key process, glycogen to glucose to energy. That is your glycogen pathway. Your glucose just comes into glucose from your intestines, straight into your blood, straight into your cells, energy, lovely. And you get ATP, which is your adenosine triphosphate, the main chemical molecule in the body. Now, so you've got that, and that's for day 1 and 2. So you've started to lose a lot of water weight. And the main part here is to see how does this develop now on, say, the phase day 2 to 3. Now we have phases 2 to 3. We don't have just one day because everyone's different. Plus, also some things can occur over several days. So, what we can see here, this is day 2 to 3. So we have a metabolic transition. What does that mean? Your metabolism simply means all the reactions that take place in your body. So what you can see here is you see fuel switching to fat. So already now 2 to 3, your fuel is transitioning. You're not going, give me carbs. You're going, give me fat. I need fat. We don't have carbs. Yeah. So your body is hating it because it's got loads of usually lovely, delicious, cheap, straightforward energy. But now that's gone. So what do? We got to go the hard pathway, the one that's cleaner. So what do we see here? Body under metabolic stress just simply means your reactions, chemical reactions in your body are suffering because you are changing them. And nothing likes to change the metabolism. Even some mammals die when you change something to shocks their metabolism. For example, pigs, if you change their diet, you can actually kill them. So you've got to do it gradually, otherwise it's too much of a shock. Humans are fantastic for adapting, so we can adapt very well. Humans, fantastic. So we've got all these fantastic systems. So electrolytes dropping. Why are your electrolytes dropping? Because loads of water's coming out of you. What does that mean? How can water take away my electrolytes? Well, it's a combination, really. I've already told you glycogen, you're releasing water because it can't bond to the glycogen because glycogen's burnt and gone, meaning there's no way to hold on or bond to the water, so it comes out. And it takes electrolytes with it. But on top of that, you're going through low insulin. So insulin is starting to get lower, which then sends a signal to your kidneys about sodium to say, don't store it, let it out. So you get rid of loads of water with sodium. And this sodium is probably the most important electrolyte in your body. Now, moving on here, you can see you've got rapid weight loss continuing and slight drop in insulin. Yes, that's true. But you could start having keto flu, which is headaches, fatigue, and brain fog because of lack of electrolytes and being lost. Now, you can see the key process now is starting to say we want to go to fat to ketones. Now, this is the part where you start suffering and you have the beginning of keto flu, which is where most people quit. So if you're thinking of doing the diet, fight through it. Say to yourself, it's only a day. It's only a day or two. I can cope with this. I'm going to take electrolytes and supplements and I'm going to be fine. So that's what can happen. If there's any severe problem, you consult your doctor. So obviously your family doctor will be able to help you, especially if you have any conditions or any diseases. Moving on. So we're looking at this. We understand that's day 2 to 3. Now we've got day 3 to 5. So day 3 to 5, we can see here that, again, you've still got, obviously, a lot of water being lost. So this is happening the whole time. That's why electrolytes are vital, because you're losing them all the time. So here we can see glycogen depletion and keto flu. That's the main heading. So now it's really kicking in the keto flu because it's day 3 still here, don't forget. And also you're going to have your glycogen disappearing. So mostly all the glycogen's gone. Your fuel must now fully transfer, and that is it. There's no option. So transition phase, fuel, switching to fat. And so it's not efficient yet. Why? Because you don't just switch to fat. You need to as well switch to ketones. And we'll talk about that in a second. So here you've got fuel switches to fat, metabolic stress, and your electrolytes depletion. So you should be worrying if you're getting headaches, fatigue, or brain fog. Go and get your supplements. Go get some electrolytes back into your body. Now, results: low energy, low sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium are essential for using your electrical impulses in your nervous system, or central and peripheral nervous system. They're essential. So this is why you're feeling terrible, because pretty much you and your mind, your brain, are being affected. That's why you need ketones. Now, let's jump down here. You have metabolic transition. So you have glycogen to fat to ketones. So we have gone glycogen to fat, and now we want ketones from fat. So how does this happen? Electrolytes drop, right? So all of these are still dropping massively. And this is a serious thing where you must take either a supplement or drink a lot of water, stay hydrated, but with supplements, and eat sodium in your, give a bit of salt, a bit of other things to season. Yes, sodium chloride, so which is table salt, and obviously that's going to help you. That'll alleviate losing a lot of sodium. So again, supplements will help with potassium, calcium, magnesium, and chlorine. Chlorine comes with your table salt as sodium chloride. Okay, now, okay, guys, so now we move on to day 4 to 5. So we've got day 4 to 5, and let's have a quick look. Okay, so here we've got day 4 to 6, and you can see now that day 4 to 6 burning fat so it's ketone production rising. And you can see day 4 to 6 burning fat for fuel. So now this is the best part. Your ketones haven't just started to be produced in a little way. They've massively ramped up because you've literally transitioned. And so you're burning loads of fat. Yes, so your main fuel is actually fat. So you take the fat out of your body as your glycerides. You take them out, you get fatty acids and you get glycerin. And then for your triglycerides. And so what happens is then you use the fatty acids for energy for most of your body. And then what happens is your ketones are being ramped up. Why? Because the ketones are there for energy for your brain. So fatty acids aren't going to work in your brain. And so there are other places on your body where they don't work. So ketones are produced for that. And you have 3 ketones. It's beta hydroxybutyrate, which is the main one you use for your brain and in your muscles. And you can use, there's other places for the other 2, but predominantly it's that the BHB, beta hydroxybutyrate. So there you go. Now, so flat fuel, glycogen nearly depleted. So you've literally got 0 glycogen now nearly in your whole body. Fat lipolysis is supplying energy. As I said to you, lipolysis is happening, which means just taking your triglycerides and you're breaking them down into fatty acids as well as putting them into glycerin. So the fatty acids are going to be powering your whole body, and then you have liver converts fat to ketones. So those fatty acids go to your liver to be converted into ketones to go to your brain because you need them. The fatty acid molecules aren't going to be working for it. So you need ketones to go there. So that's why you get ketones. And that's why you get a bit foggy sometimes as well, and lack of electrolytes. So plenty of electrolytes, you shouldn't feel that bad at all. So result, rapid water loss, slight drop in insulin. Now, why are you losing a lot of water here? A lot is gone because your insulin hormone goes down, and that tells you get rid of sodium. So sodium, which is being retained with your kidneys, is now being shot out in your urine. So that's why it's so important to maintain electrolytes in supplements. So you've got a key process here, fat to ketones. Yes, that's the main key process here. And you can see obviously that the body is becoming more efficient at burning fat and ketones for fuel. That's vital. So you enter ketosis, but you're not fully adapted yet. So that's day 4 to 6. Everybody's different with your physiology. That's why it's better to say a few days, because no one's perfect. And some people, for example, some people will have less carbs and more carbs, and some people will run and do a lot more activity, and some people are larger, taller, and so on. So keto, day 5 to 7, full ketosis. You have fuel, it's fat and ketones. What's happening? Ketone levels rise significantly. Now you've got tons of ketones, and that's how we use to identify you're in ketosis. So it tells that you're burning fat and making ketones, which is essential for your brain. So ketone levels have risen and your brain starts using ketones efficiently, and insulin stays low, which is still, you have a lot of water loss. So you've got to hydrate and take electrolytes, and again, still a slight drop in insulin. Now, what's the key benefit? Because you've started now to adapt and you're pretty much coming to full ketosis, you have mental clarity because your clean energy is stable, ketone. Energy is more stable outright for your body, so you don't have sugar rushes, and cravings should be gone. They should be dying down because fat and protein satiate you and block out any signals for cravings. So now your body feels happy and you've adapted, so you don't worry anymore. So fat burning will get better over the few coming weeks, and you'll get fully adapted into fat burning, which can take like 3 to 6 weeks. So that's pretty much the time. It usually adapts a certain time, and what happens, you lose loads of weight in between, and usually it slows right down. And so you can tell when you have become adapted to burning fat, because you lose a good amount of weight, but not tons like you do in the initial few weeks. So, okay, guys. So that's a quick look at the 7 days and what happens to you. I hope this has helped you, and you can understand, oh, I've got to make sure I take electrolytes. That's very important. That's the key takeaway. And obviously now you understand. It's a bit weird, isn't it? So it's in the sense that you're now understanding that you are burning fat, but you're also then taking your fat, converting it to ketones and sending it to your brain. And that's why your clarity and clear focus gets even better than before, because those ketones are fantastic clean energy. And so you are focused and you get none of those spikes. So guys, I hope you liked the video. Thumbs up, please, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.